Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
What did you do to me?
Get the dampener.
Who the hell are you?
Your master?
My what?
Where'd you put it?
You had it last.
Are you kidding me?
Get the dampener.
You were gonna share me with these 2 dorks?
Hey.
We're supervillains. Call us master.
Wait.
Oh, crap. It's out of juice.
Is that what you used on me? Oh my god, first a skank bot and now this? What is wrong with you?
I wanted us to be together.
There is no us, Warren. Get that through your big meaty head. I am not your girlfriend anymore.
She's your ex? Dude, that is messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, you think? You bunch of little boys playing at being men? Well, this is not some fantasy. It's not a game, you freaks. It's rape.
Hello, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just 2 boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I am Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 6, Episode 13, titled Dead Things. Directed by James A. Contner, written by Stephen S. DeKnight. Original air date February 5th, 2002 to an audience of 5.21 million people. And before we get into the episode, everybody, we've got a freaking sloppy Joe shout out. Shout out. Want to give a shout out to our main man, Charlie, aka The Crap Show. Thank you for sending in an email, the rarely used email. We got one, everybody. So thank you, Charlie, for your kind words. We're so happy to put you to sleep, my friend.
Yeah.
If you want to get a shout out, Apple Podcast 5-star rating and review, or a Spotify 5-star rating, send it to us. You know how to send it to us. Email, Instagram, my Instagram. Or just send us some very kind words, or send us something from our Amazon wish list. Wish list. That's our only shout out for the day.
It's a sad day, though. It's a sad day. And you know why? I'm on my last Dew energy drink.
Oh, no. I've got one more after this one.
I know, because you decided to go monster vibes during the Mummy podcast.
Yeah, which is on our Patreon, patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we do Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies, and Joe's Fashion Report /corner.
We should announce, though, what movie we're doing later this month.
Oh, for December?
Yeah.
So,
after a lot of deliberation. After a lot of deliberation.
A lot. I pounded Vance into submission, and we will be doing Love Actually.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that, for Boys Watching Movies in December. Vance had a lot of objections to Love Actually. I made my case, and this is what we have settled on, everybody.
I tried to push back on it. One, I've seen it a couple times. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering how talking. It's going to be interesting because you've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
So I can't even wait to see what you think of some of these stories in this. But once you pitched it, and I believe Al Rusty on Discord had mentioned it among the many suggestions we got. And Love Actually didn't break through for me in my thought process, but it was the one that was It's the one. It's the one to do.
Yeah.
You're like, I couldn't argue against it. It's such a popular, well-known movie.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people wanted what we're talking about, Die Hard, but I feel like Die Hard isn't really in the boys watching spirit.
It's also a movie that's like been talked about forever, and it's not. I don't know. I don't think it'd be anything super interesting to say that hasn't been already said.
Yeah. So we're going Love Actually. I feel like that's kind of in our wheelhouse. I'm excited to watch it.
It's got some stuff in it, man. It's got some stuff.
Speaking of having stuff in it, this episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dead Things, is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
This is the drama. This is the follow-up to all of... I'm like, okay, yeah, these are fun episodes. Oh, we got Double Meat Palace. Oh, Buffy's invisible. But we have some very serious underlying issues going on in the story of this show that have just been kind of swept aside for a couple of episodes. And now we're getting to the meat of it. Now we're like in it. Questions are being answered. We're figuring out some stuff. It's good shit.
It's the pros and cons of having like a 22 episode season.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if this was a 12 episode, 10 episode season, you dive right into that. If you got to fill out some other episodes, you got an actor getting a haircut, you gotta do a bunch of things. So yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But I dug this episode. I thought it was good. It's dark as fuck.
Yeah.
But good stuff.
This and Angel went interesting, dark, and serious.
Yeah. Yeah. Angel this week. The one that we're doing this week for Angel is a little weird. It's like dark and sad.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's crack open these dews, baby. Let's freaking do it. Oh yeah, I did it with my fingers, baby.
Yeah.
I know. That's a good week. That's a good week for Joey boy. But all right, let us get into this episode. It opens up with lots and lots of recapping. We're in the recap era, everybody. We get a Buffy being revived, coming back wrong recap, trio recap, Dawn being a pissy little bitch recap, Tara leaving Willow recap, Willow being addicted to magic recap, Willow quitting magic cold turkey recap, and Buffy and Spike having sex recap.
I'm happy that you take those notes because I do not take notes on the recap at all.
Yeah. So the actual episode opens up with Buffy and Spike banging in his tomb, and there's just stuff strewn about, and they're banging. They're just finishing up, and they're finishing up. They're under like 14 rugs. Like they're on top of rugs, and they're under like 3 rugs. Just like, why is this bro guy's fucking so many rugs?
It's nice that he has a rug.
I mean, you gotta have rugs when you're in a little tomb. I mean, it's probably chilly down there. Get a draft.
Do vampires get cold? I don't know.
Vampires are always cold. They don't have heartbeats, Vance. Remember,
but they're cold.
They can pump blood to their dicks.
They're cold-blooded, So
yeah,
I don't know.
But every time I see this kind of shit on TV, where it's just like people are having sex and stuff is just destroyed around them, I know I would just be so pissed if that was my place. I'd be like, yo, whoa, that's hey, whoa. That's a trophy from when I was a child. I can't get that again.
God. You're not a slayer or a vampire, so it's gonna be different. It's gonna be wild like that.
Yeah. But like in scenes in movies where people just like shove all the shit off the desk, like, whoa, that's my $2,000 laptop, dude.
Yeah. The desk wipe is really a classic one. Like, okay, I got to pick those papers up.
Dude, I remember, we're already off on a tangent right now, but I remember I was dating this one girl and she was talking about how like, oh, I think it'd be like really hot if you like ripped off my clothes at one point, like ripped off my clothes and we just had like crazy hot sex or whatever. And so one day I took the initiative to do that. A little surprise. And she started crying, and she was like, I loved that shirt. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh, boy.
This is risky behavior. Okay.
It's like if she comes over with a gym bag, you're like, okay, she's got the change of clothes, so now you're good. Not quite as spontaneous as she wanted, but...
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just pretty brutal.
This is the problem
anyway.
when people watch too much TV and think it's real.
Yeah, dude. It's, oh, man. But yeah, Spike's place is wrecked. But then Buffy is kind of looking around after they're done having sex. And she's like, you did a pretty nice job decorating this place. And Spike's like, yeah, not anymore, buddy. This place is fucking wrecked. But he's like, yeah, one time I ate a decorator. Maybe some of that skill kind of rubbed off on me. And he says it like it's a joke. It's so crazy.
He has the worst post-sex chat. Like I
know.
Every time it's like his post-sex talk is the worst.
Yeah.
Like read the room, go a little. Like she's chilling a little bit.
He's even surprised about that.
Yeah, just like don't say anything too creepy or stalkery. But he can't help himself.
But yeah, he's like, yeah, I ate a decorator one time. And Buffy's like, huh, yeah, maybe that skill did rub off on you. Maybe I should have you come over to my place and decorate. And Spike's like, are we having a conversation?
No.
And Buffy's like, fucking no. I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, but whatever. And Spike's like, ooh, you're sticking around. Usually you kick me in the head and leave.
I am so confused as to what I'm supposed to be rooting for in this relationship. Like, do I want them to get together or am I like, get out of there, Buffy? I have no idea how I'm personally supposed to feel about this.
Yeah, but then Spike starts to like nuzzle up to her and he's like, oh man, I gotta tell you, you are amazing. Your sex is so good. And Buffy's like, you're not too bad yourself here, buddy boy. And Spike's like, I've never been with such an animal. And this is where Buffy gets triggered. And she's like, I am not an animal. I didn't come back wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. And Spike's like, oh yeah? Well, the scratches all over my body and the bite marks could say differently. And Buffy's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just like, man, just Spike, don't talk afterwards. Just don't talk. Like everything's a triggering word afterwards. Just stop.
I know. So then Spike is in his feels now. And he's like, Buffy, I gotta ask you, like, what is this to you? And Buffy's on her fuckboy shit. Buffy's like, what do you mean, what is this? It's just like us being together for now. And like, it's what it is. And, don't talk and ruin a good thing. But like, I'm happy to be here for now and fuck you. But like, that's what it is. And Spike says, do you even like me? And Buffy goes, sometimes. Bro, Buffy was reading, what was that fucking?
The Artist.
Oh, yeah, the pickup artist.
The pickup artist book, yeah.
No, the game, that was the book. Okay. The game. Yeah, Buffy's been reading the game. She is like on her mega fuckboy shit right now. And Spike is on his emotional lady type of stuff right now.
Hey, man.
What are we?
She's the slayer, You got to slay.
Yeah. So after Buffy says she likes him sometimes, Spike is like, all right, well, check this out. He pulls out some handcuffs.
Perfect move there, right? Like, oh, she only likes me sometimes. Huh. I think this is handcuffs time.
So he pulls out some handcuffs and he goes, do you trust me? And Buffy goes, never.
I was like, damn, I was really happy she said that.
Yeah.
If she would have gotten handcuffed there, I would have been like, oof.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like, I don't know how the show wants me to feel about this, but it's like, I don't know how Buffy is feeling about this, because it seemed like she was warming up and cozying up to Spike, and then she's like, fuck you, I'd never trust you. I only like you sometimes. Like, what?
Like, the show makes it seem like, okay, she should just stop doing what she's doing and just give in and be with Spike, you know? Like, just admit that you actually have feelings for him, right?
Yeah.
But then they do the stuff they do throughout the rest of the episode, and you're like, oh yeah, she needs to like not do this.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what the show is telling me. I don't know how I feel. Like, I was okay with her hooking up, but like, she keeps wanting to push away from it. And I get it, he's a vampire, but we watched her date a vampire for the first 3 seasons.
Well, he was one with a soul, Vance.
And then he lost his soul, and he killed a bunch of people, and he was a problematic person. He tried to end the world with the judge. Yeah, but no, it's fine because he
Spike.
Yeah, it's fine because he had a soul again. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know.
It's wild, man. Like, I don't know if I support the relationship. I don't know if I support like what Buffy. Whoa.
Joe's apartment just fell on him.
I know. It is like a car just like exploded outside. But yeah, I don't know if I support the relationship, because I was on board, but now it's like Buffy's just been acting so bizarre that I don't know if I can be on board. I'm just like, wait, what is this? I'm with Spike. What is this?
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing. Once she tells Spike it's over, he's going to go into murderous rage. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then we go over to the trio, and the trio, they're living on the lam. They're on the run because they made Buffy invisible, and she probably figured out that it's them. Jonathan is like trashing all of Andrew's stuff, and Andrew's like, "Oh, this is valuable stuff. Don't do that." And meanwhile, Warren's getting annoyed with both of them because they're immature little boys, and he's like, "All right, guys, stop bickering. We need to charge this cerebral dampener." And Jonathan and Andrew walk over, and Jonathan starts to do a spell on part of it. It's like some kind of like pine cone that he's holding or some shit. He does a spell, and it mystically transforms its energy and puts it into the orb. And they're like, all right, this orb, you know what we can do with it? We can make any woman we desire our sex slave. And they're like, ooh, this is going to be great. And Warren's like, and I know just where to start. And where he knew where to start was way different than where I thought they were going to go with this.
Where did you think they were going to go?
I thought that they were going to have Buffy or something, or like one of the Scoobies.
I thought it was interesting that this was their move after being found out by Buffy.
Yeah.
So Freeze Ray was first, and now this?
Yeah, I mean, this mind control device, I feel like it's not as, I mean, it is powerful, I guess, but they should use it in conjunction with a bunch of their other shit. Like, they keep using one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And it's like, team up, work together, get some spells going, get some different inventions used at the same, like.
Wait, so they made a freeze ray, and then they made an invisibility ray so that they could spy on girls. I guess this is an elevation to becoming what they become, which is a slow ramp up to like peeking in on women.
Yeah.
Standing next to them, and then like now I can just completely control them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give it.
Yeah, I think Warren was better off just with his robot girlfriend by the end of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, all of our Warren statements were based off of what we knew of him.
Yeah.
I want to just state that.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until this episode, we're like, what? This guy's a genius. Like, this guy, I mean, he's still a genius. He's an evil genius.
Yeah, still great with it. You can still be good at your job and be an awful person. Like, so.
Yeah. So then we get the intro song, and after that, we have Buffy at the Double Meat Palace serving a customer, and then Tara shows up, and Buffy's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go on a break. I gotta talk to this lady," and And so she goes on a break, and Tara's worried about Willow. She's like, hey, how's Willow doing? Buffy's like, hey, Willow's doing fine. All right. She's off the magic. She's been doing it. She's not having any relapses, but this meeting is not about Willow. And Tara's like, so why did you call me in here? And Buffy's like, I want to talk to you about Spike and how he can hurt me. And Tara's like, oh, what did his chip stop working? And Buffy's like, no, his chip still works fine, but he can hurt me specifically, and it doesn't activate his chip. So I'm wondering about the spell that you guys used to bring me back to life. Could something have gone wrong with the spell? Or maybe I came back wrong? And Tara's like, no. There's no way. No, nothing could have went wrong with that. Just every other spell that we've ever done, something went wrong. But
even though there was a ghost and demon that got let out when we did the spell that you had to kill. But no, the spell was fine. Completely. No.
Yeah. Willow vomited a snake, but that's normal.
That's normal.
That's normal shit. But Buffy's like, no, dude, but I'm telling you right now, like, I feel different. Something doesn't feel right since I've come back. Like, I don't feel the same. So I'm starting to feel like I came back wrong. Can you look into the spell? And Tara's like, yeah, sure. Okay, fine. For your sake, I'll look into the spell, see what's up. But I don't think that anything went wrong. And Bobby's like, okay. But
so Tara's like, I didn't want to be a part of the show, so I'll do this. Thanks for including me.
Oh, yeah. It's like you remembered that I also do witchcraft.
I thought she was going to ask her about Dawn or something in this scene. I didn't know she was going to ask this question.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. This is a nice inclusion of Tara. It's a good way to like skirt around, because Buffy also brings up like, I would ask Willow, but bringing up magic stuff around her could, send her down a spiral.
Yeah, and I've never really talked to her about ripping me from heaven, so.
I can't. We're too good of friends.
Yeah, we're too good of friends.
I don't want her to feel bad.
We even get one of those scenes where it's like they talk like, how are you doing? Oh, this Spike and me hooking up. We do it again. They do it again. It's a small one, but they do it again. And I'm over it.
Yep. So then we go to Jonathan and Andrew are in the trio van, and Warren is in a bar, and he's like scoping out some ladies. He's dressed up. He's in his tie, which has a video camera, which is better than any security camera that ever would have been out at this time. But he did invent a mind control device. So
yeah, I mean, they've had that. They did that thing when they put the button on Buffy, and that one when they trapped her in a whatever. Yeah, this bar. Why is no one else going to this bar?
I know
this bar is nice.
I mean, it's very nice. It might not even be. It's like a steakhouse or something. Like, it's nice.
Something.
People are dressed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's looking around. He's scoping out for ladies, and Jonathan and Andrew are in the van. They're like, oh, what about that one? Oh, look at that one. She's cute. Oh, what about the one with the big bazongas? Bazongas?
I gotta say, this place is filled with women. Insane. Like, I thought they were all at the Bronze or somewhere else. Sunnydale's expanding.
Here's the thing about this whole mind control thing too. Like, I know that Jonathan has his like shortfalls, but shortfalls. In terms of like shortcomings. Yeah.
Pitfalls.
But Warren and Andrew aren't like bad looking guys. And Warren has had a girlfriend before.
He built himself one and then got one. It wasn't like anybody can date somebody, like it doesn't matter looks wise. No, they're just weirdos though. They have like no social, I don't think they have any like social ability to like go out and actually just conversate with someone.
Yeah, these are the guys that need to be reading the game.
And this is pre dating app, so you're not just swiping and just getting people to meet up with you based off of a picture and a profile you wrote,
Yeah.
So this is where you start to like talk to people, get them, convince them to give you a chance. Yeah.
Those were the days, I guess. I don't know. I was big on the apps. So.
Yeah, I missed the apps. So
yeah, but Warren is also a little concerned about the Slayer being around, and he's like, "Hey, let's be aware if the Slayer's around too. But, ooh, look at this lady over here. I actually found my mark. This is who we're going after. And Jonathan and Andrew are looking. They're like, I mean, yeah, she's pretty cute. She's pretty hot. And Warren goes up to her and she turns around. And I didn't recognize her at first. But this is Katrina, his ex-girlfriend from when Warren was first introduced in the robot episode.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a while since we've seen her.
I recognized her once he said her, like once she looked at him and he said her name kind of thing, but I didn't when he was like looking across the way because she's like definitely more made up. Like she's out.
Yeah. When she turned around, I was like, is that Amy the rat?
Right. I did think that too. And I was like, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be Amy the rat because I wanted to have like her do some magic on their magic. And I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did think the same thing.
When she turned around, they have similar looks, like similar facial features. But no, alas, it is Katrina, Warren's ex, and she is not happy to see him. And Warren's like, hey, what's up, baby? And she's like, what are you fucking talking to me, baby, for? Like, what? Get away from me.
Here's a crazy question. Why is she in Sunnydale?
I don't know.
Because I think they were away at college, and he met her at college.
Yeah, and they were doing like a long distance thing, I guess.
No, she came back like with him for spring break. It was a spring break episode. I honestly don't really remember too much of their whole backstory of their relationship. Well, he met her in college, and after he had made the robot, because they're in the robotics class together or whatever.
But she's not happy to see him, and he's like, baby, can we just talk this out? I want to work things out with you. Like, I want to let's get back together. And she's like, no, dude, like, you're weird and you're a sicko. And when I look at you, it makes me want to vomit. Remember, you had a robot sex girlfriend that you made, and the robot girlfriend tried to kill me. Like, I do not want to get back together with you. You're a fucking weirdo. And then Warren's like, yeah, well, how about this? And he pulls out the mind control device and uses it on her. And she goes, I love you, master. And I was like, damn, this thing works quick.
I have to say, Andrew has one of the creepiest lines in this scene. When they're like, he's in the van, he's like, oh, yeah, it's like a whole room full of candy or something. And then he goes, yeah, juicy, pulsating candy. It's like, ugh, what a horrible way to describe a person.
Yeah. But these are some incels, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's just how they look at ladies, unfortunately. But yeah, so now Katrina is under Warren's mind control spell.
You've got me under your spell.
I'm under your spell. You make me complete. Oh, how far magic has gotten.
Been through hell.
Oh man, what a good.
We could have gone our whole life and never had that in our minds.
I know, and now we're both singing it. So anyway, Buffy comes home, and hearkening back to this, she comes home and she hears music playing, and the Scoobs are teaching Dawn how to dance, and Buffy starts to freak out. And she's like, oh shit, is everybody singing again? Oh fuck, what's with the music shit?
I can't let you guys know I'm having sex with Spike. Please.
Please, God.
No.
But they're like, no, we're just teaching Dawn some dance moves for our wedding reception. And dude, they make Xander look like such a fucking jackass in these scenes. Like when he's dancing, he has like the dumbest face.
Well, he's jitterbugging or something. It's like, what year is this?
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. It's like Sunnydale is in this weird time warp where like people are obsessed with like Buster Keaton and like swing dance. Buffy quotes like movies, like the Zeppo, like Cordelia's quoting the Zeppo. Like, what the fuck is this? But so Buffy comes in and she takes a load off. She sits down on the couch next to Anya and Willow, and Anya's like, "Whoa, dude, you're looking You're looking like you've been a little pounded or something. Buffy's like, yeah. I guess I have been getting pounded. I mean, I've been pounded. I mean, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Oh man, these innuendos.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so Willow is like, "Yay, why don't you take a load off? We're gonna go to the Bronze and get some adult beverages." And Buffy's like, "I don't know. All I really want to do after getting pounded all night long is kind of stay home and relax with my sister. I'd like to snuggle up on a couch and eat some popcorn and hang out with my sister." And then the doorbell rings or a car horn honks. Yeah. And Dawn's like, "Okay, see you guys. I'm out of here." And Buffy's like, "Wait, what? Where are you going?" And Dawn's like, "I'm sleeping over at Janice's." And Buffy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not falling for that again. I remember last time you were quote unquote sleeping over at Janice's." And Willow's like, "No, I looked into it."
That was back when you were a rebellious teen, not a bratty tween.
Yeah. And Willow's like, no, I looked into it. I talked to Janice's mom. That's actually her driving. So this is on the up and up. Like, she's going over to Janice's. And Buffy's like, but I thought that we could hang out together. And I thought that, can't you sleep over at Janice's another night? And Dawn's like, dude, how am I supposed to know when you're going to be home? You're a fucking vagrant. You're a vagabond now. You're never home. I never know when you're going to be around. So, like, who's to say that I make plans to hang out with you and then you just leave again or you don't show up? Like, I'm going to Janice's. We'll hang out another night. And Buffy's like, okay.
Yeah,
then Dawn leaves.
I like how Buffy came home and was like, oh yeah, Dawn's going to do what I want to do. Like,
right?
Why?
Yeah. So Dawn leaves and then Buffy is like, okay, maybe I will go to the Bronze for some adult beverages. Let's get fucking hammered.
Beer good.
Beer good. Oh man.
Yeah,
but
it was they got Dawn doing the weird guilt trip stuff, but I know what they're going for. And I don't mind it as much, but I don't know what Buffy's supposed to do opposite this. Like, I don't know if she wasn't hooking up with Spike and if she wasn't at her job, she'd be home more and that would make Dawn happier.
It's also hilarious that Dawn is like giving her the guilt trip after Buffy is like, I need to get a job in order to keep my guardianship of you, Dawn, and to pay these bills. I need to be responsible adult. And Dawn's like, you're never around anymore.
It's the classic 90s. It's the classic
fucking what, dude?
It's that classic rom-com type scenario or those just those movies where the dad works all the time and they're like, Dad's never home. He never comes to my games that are at 3 p.m. because he's working at the corporate job. So that we can live in this 5-bedroom house.
Yeah, the three of us.
Yeah. We had a birthday party with a trampoline and a clown and fully catered, but Dad's not here.
Doesn't even care.
Meanwhile, he's like, I hate my job so much. I hate it so much, and I'm here all the time.
Mm-hmm. But I will say that at least I feel like Dawn was less bratty in this scene. Like she's giving Buffy, giving Buffy like the guilt trip, but she's not like whiny.
Well, the thing is, I think they need to have a more direct. I think they're going the let Dawn say that Buffy's not around instead of let's see how Buffy not around affects Dawn. Because I don't know if Buffy was home and they just sat there and watched a movie together, how that would actually change things. You know what I mean? I need the example of, you said you were going to do this, but you didn't come home. You know, not like, oh, I was hanging out with Tara all night and then you weren't here, but I'm now mad at you. Like, no. Like,
we need to see Dawn or Buffy have an experience with Dawn that was kind of like when Willow took her to Rax. And it's just like 2 hours later, Dawn's like, what the fuck? Where were you? Buffy she's like, sorry, I got caught up with a vampire.
Yeah, but like in that scenario, Dawn was going to go to a movie with Willow, who's her secondary mom, you know? So what was Buffy supposed to do there?
I feel like now is also the time where Willow or Dawn should start stealing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, she should still be on that. She should still be on that rebellious team. Like, that would be a fun thing for Buffy to deal with, is to deal with someone that's like her, or like maybe a baby Faith, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like Dawn gets picked up by the cops. Like, we caught her stealing some stuff. And But I guess if she did do that, then the guardianship thing would...
Yeah, because they threw the guardianship thing instead of just having it be a fun, like, rebellious teen. Buffy has to fight demons and fight her sister, kind of like balance her sister stuff. You know?
And the system. Because she's like remember, she's like on double secret probation or whatever.
Well, they not anymore because they swapped it off.
Oh, right. Because Doris went insane.
Because Doris is in a mental institute. Yeah.
Oh, man. But so, yeah, Buffy's going to go to the Bronze with the Scoobs, and Dawn is over at Janice's. So then we go over to Warren and the trio, and he's got Katrina in a sexy maid outfit, and she's just like pouring champagne for the trio.
They've never had champagne in their life.
I know. As evidenced by what happens next. They do a toast to crime, and then they drink the champagne, and they're like, oh, God, this hurts. This doesn't taste good.
Like, have you even had a soda before? You guys are so
it's too bubbly.
It's too bubbles. The bubbles, they tickle.
But then Jonathan and Andrew start, making eyes at Katrina, and they're like, whoa, she is pretty cute in this sexy maid outfit. She is pretty cute. And Warren's like, yeah, you're damn fucking right she is. This is my ex-girlfriend, bros. I used to hook up with her all the time, and she is perfect. She's more than cute. She is perfect. And then Jonathan and Andrew go, yeah, you know what? Now that you mention it, she is pretty fucking hot. So who gets her first? And then Warren goes, I get her first. And they're like, wait, why? Why do you get her first? Come on, man. And he's like, you can play with her when I'm done with her.
Oof.
And I wrote in my notes, just get another sex slave. Why do you have to share the one?
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to say. But the fact that he said you could play with her when I'm done with it was real rough. I thought I thought the whole thing was going to be, he wants to get back with this girl. They're like, that's not fair. He tells them that that's his girlfriend, his ex. And now they're all pissed off about it. Like, you just wanted to get your ex back.
Yeah.
But instead, it was...
You didn't even want to help us get ladies at all. You just wanted to get with your ex.
Yeah. But now he's going to get with his ex and then also let them take turns with her. It is...
Yeah.
I got to say,
nasty.
I think a guy that created a sex bot, maybe not the best relationship calibrator. Like, he's all fucked up.
Yeah, I
just
mean,
make him sex bots.
That's what I'm about to say, dude. I'm like, he was so much better off with just making sex robots. Like, everybody was all like, oh, you're creepy. Oh, that's gross. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But fucking,
it's
better than this.
It's better than this. This is like the next step. Like, the sex bots leads to this. It's like a gateway sex bot. Because that's a problem, man.
I don't know, man. Just let him have his sex bot and fucking
no one was stopping him.
Bot.
No one was stopping him from making sex bots. He stopped.
Yeah, like, just keep making them, dude. Like, you let people say that you're creepy. Fuck them. You have a robot that can beat up anybody.
No one will say you're creepy because they look identical to people. They fool people. Yeah. Like, they pretended to be Dawn's mom for months. Like, it would go to a PTA meeting and completely confuse everyone.
A god from hell couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
A god.
Yeah.
From a hell dimension.
Just look in a magazine and be like, I like her. Warren, make it. Like, done.
Yeah. That's fucking what Spike did.
Yeah.
He just had pictures of Buffy and was like, make her. Yeah. And then he made a perfect replica.
Like, right? Yeah.
Just stay with the robots, dude. They aren't hurting anybody.
Until
this
they
is
do.
hurting people.
But, yeah.
Well,
like,
yeah.
But it's still better than this. This is what they say it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So Warren goes to his room with Katrina and they're making out. And he's like, you should have never left me. say that you should have never left me. And then the mind control Katrina's like, I should have never left you. And he's like, good. And they make out some more. And he goes, tell me that you love me. And then she goes, I love you. And he goes, say it again. She goes, I love you. And he's like, good. And then he's like making out with her. And then he like pulls her away and he goes, get on your knees. And she goes, yes, master. And she goes on her knees.
She doesn't say yes, master. She says, yes, Warren.
Oh, right. Yes, Warren. And then he goes, what? And then as she's getting on her knees and as he's unbuckling, she comes to. The mind control is worn off. And Katrina's like, what the fuck is going on here? She looks down. What am I wearing? What am I doing? What's going on? And Warren's like, oh, shit. And then the next scene you see is Andrew and Jonathan like in the other room talking about something. And then you just see Warren fly through.
Yeah. She got that sex bot strength.
Yeah, man. And he just gets tossed into this room and she comes out and she is pissed. And she's like, what the fuck are you going to do? And Jonathan and Andrew are like, oh, is it our turn? And she looks at Warren. She's like, you were going to share me with your fucking nerd friends? And Warren's like, guys, get the mind dampener. Get the mind dampener. The mind control is worn off. Go get it. And so they're like, oh, shit. They run to get the mind dampener. Andrew tries to use it. And he's like, oh, shit. It's out of charge. It's out of juice. And then Katrina's like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? Like, you're mind controlling me? Dude, I'm not your girlfriend anymore. And then Andrew and Jonathan go, wait, this is your ex-girlfriend? This is your girlfriend? This is kind of messed up. And Katrina's like, you think that's messed up? That's the part that's messed up about this. Let me inform you guys about what you're doing here. This isn't fun times. Oh, we have a sex slave. We're doing cool 80s hijinks. This is rape. This is rape, you guys. And that's not fucking cool. And then Warren, meanwhile, is just like, charge up the mind dampener. Stop this bitch from talking.
I was really shocked that they said the R word.
I know, me too, but I'm happy that they did.
I'm happy that they did too, because
yeah,
and Andrew and Jonathan are like, wait, what? It is? I'm like,
yeah,
like, oh my god,
yeah, dude,
you guys didn't think what you were doing was wrong, whether or not it was the girlfriend. You just.
I love that. That's where because they don't think of women as people. They think of it as like, let's mind control these fucking people or things. Well, I mean, it's just like what Andrew was saying. They're candy. They're jubbly candy or whatever.
Yeah. It's just, but then they look like, whoa, rape. No, we don't. Yeah. Like, what do they think rape is then? What do they think rape is then?
Dude, I don't know. What do they think consent is? Yeah. Like, what do they think this is?
And I'm interested. It's funny that the show does that because it also does like weird stuff with Spike. But yeah, I was happy she said that. I was happy she said that. Me too. But you know, if you say that, you're gonna have to deal with the repercussions. This show will not allow you to say something so disparaging to men. I'm joking about the show, but that's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, she's like, you're like raping people. You're gonna rape people, and you're like gonna share me. Like, I'm out of here. And so she starts to try to run away, and Warren chases after her, and he grabs her, and he's like, "No, wait, you can't go. Don't go. Please don't go. Like, don't do this." And then she's like, "No, get the fuck off of me!" And she like shoves him, and then he just grabs a bottle and whacks her over the head with a bottle. And it knocks her out. She's like, they're running upstairs. It knocks her out. She falls on the stairs. And Warren's like, okay, whew, crisis averted. I just have a knocked out lady. And he's like, all right, Jonathan, Andrew, let's go. Let's get her up. We'll use the mind dampener on her. When she comes to, she'll be our sex slave again. And then Jonathan and Andrew go over to pick her up. And they're like, buddy, this is not good. And Warren's like, what do you mean it's not good? And they're like, dude, she's dead. You killed her. You killed her. And then Jonathan and Andrew start freaking out. And they're like, fuck, we have a dead person here. Jonathan is like, I didn't want to do this. I just wanted to rape people. I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, I'm a good guy.
Yeah. And Andrew is like crouched and he's hovered over. And Warren is just like, all right, everybody shut up. Shut up, shut up. And they're like, no, dude, this isn't good. And Warren's like, shut the fuck up. He shoves Jonathan up against the wall. He's like, you shut up. Let me think. We got to think about how to cover this up. We got to figure this out. And Jonathan's like, there is no figuring this out, dude. Like, she's dead. The Slayer's already after us. They're going to find out and we got to do something. And Warren's like, no. Okay, here, Jonathan, is there a spell that you can do to just make her disappear? And Jonathan's like, no, dude, like the body's too big. I can't do that. And he's also like,
it's the trio body episode.
Yeah.
It's their like little mini, the body.
Yeah. But like Jonathan's saying like, I can't do that, dude. But he's also like, this is gross. And I don't want to have to answer these questions because like, I didn't want to be in this scenario. And then Warren's like, okay, fine. You can't do that. Andrew, is there fucking some kind of demon that you can summon that'll eat this body all the way up and devour it? And I was like, oh my God. And
Warren is cold-blooded, man.
Yeah. And Andrew's like, I mean, there is the flim flurm flom flom demon, but if I summon it, they're hard to control. And like after it eats Katrina's body, it'll come after us. And Warren's like, damn it. All right, well, we got to figure something out.
I love that those are their two options. I'm like, yeah. Don't you guys have a ray that freezes things and makes things invisible? Like, those are your two options, demon and teleportation?
I mean, not that I'm approving of this, but if they used that invisibility ray and just waited a while and then touched her, wouldn't she have just turned to goo like the traffic cone?
Yeah, there's so many ways. Like the easiest thing to do in Sunnydale is get rid of a body.
Right? And everyone in this episode is real bad at it.
Yeah. Like
real bad.
Because we talked last episode, what did Buffy do with the demon in the place, you know?
Yeah, the Double Meat Palace. Yeah. What did she do with the old lady?
Lady's
what did
body.
They do with where's Manny the manager's body? Like where's Greg's body or Gary? That was his name. Like all of these bodies.
I have to bring up though that before Katrina died, she scratched Warren across the face, which is classic. Like this is a classic thing that you get when you find a body. They scrape under their fingernails. They do the DNA test. They'll have Warren under there. I feel like that'll be how he ends up going to jail, because I feel like that's the only way eventually for Warren to like pay for it. It would actually be like prison time. I don't think Buffy can punch him down. She'll definitely punch him and like say a bunch of shit while she punches him, but he's got to like pay for this.
I mean, even if they don't do the whole DNA test angle, he has like a big like Blofeld scratch on his.
Well, that's what I think. I think the scratch on his face will correspond to like that, because that's such a specific thing to happen. Because even when it happens, it's like, really?
Yeah.
And she's walking up the stairs so slow. I love it.
I know. Well, she is in heels in her maid outfit, I guess.
Yeah, but just like the casual, like, I'm leaving, guys. Doop, 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 doop. Like, it's like three dudes just tried to like run a train on you and hypnotize you. You need to be sprinting out of that place.
Yeah, dude. But Jonathan's like, nope, they're going to figure out that you did it, dude, because that's your ex-girlfriend. There's a link. Who do you think they always suspect first? They always suspect the ex or like the husband, the people closest to this person.
Them saying that they would suspect him because of the link is really tenuous, considering they haven't been together for like a year or so. Like, it's,
I don't know, man. There is a link, though. There's
a link, but like if she would have died separately, they would have. Yeah, it's they're worried more about the Slayer connecting it than the cops too, which is which is weird. They're like, she's gonna find out. She's like Batman level detective. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You just killed a woman and you're not worried about the police finding this?
I mean, Buffy was already figured out that they're bad guys. Like, they announced to Buffy, they walked in front of her and went, "We are your arch nemesis," and they had an invisibility ray. They were going to kill Buffy.
Yeah, that's how Buffy figured it out, because you guys revealed it to her. Like, it was, other than that, she had no clue who was chasing her. So why would she connect this to you?
Yeah, I would be more worried about, I don't know, there's so much to worry about here.
Yeah.
But Warren is like, all right, you know what? Actually, now that I've thought about it, I've got an idea. I'm going to figure out this plan where we're going to take care of the Slayer and the body at the same time. And I was like, all right, how the hell is this going to work? Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
This ratcheted up the drama to a level I did not expect. Rape to murder to now a crazy cover-up plot.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when you said the trio wasn't going to be a threat?
I think in Discord I always talk about how, like, I feel like they could be a much bigger threat.
Yeah, but you didn't think they were going to be the big bad. That was the original thing.
Yeah, I thought that it was like going to be Willow.
Which is fair.
Which it still might be.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be Willow anymore.
I don't know, man.
I think that ship has sailed.
But yeah, the trio, they showed their true colors now. Well, I'll say this. Warren has shown his true colors. Jonathan and Andrew are reluctantly going along with it because they're weak-willed and they're just following Warren. But then later on in this episode, they show their true colors.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
But also, their true colors are rape as well. So they're bad guys.
Like, they could have done a spell to make them seem more attractive, you know?
I mean, Jonathan can turn into anybody, as we see. Turn yourself into a hot guy.
It's still kind of rapey, but if he turned himself into a hot guy and like tricks someone into dating him, it's a little less like, call me master and I get to tell you what to do and you just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is still dishonest and tricking people.
But it's not that much different than if you were like get a ton of plastic surgery and then like work out and completely change yourself, I guess, as long as your personality stays the same. That's still, but I'm saying he would just look different. If he made himself like buff and taller, right? Mm-hmm. And then he went out and he was still Jonathan and he started talking to people. It's a weird grayish area of, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's still not great, but it's not this.
I don't know, because we talk about how Faith raped Riley.
Yeah, but she was pretending to be Buffy. Like, it's not like
Jonathan would be pretending.
No, I'm saying like if he
just guy.
Yeah, if he would pretend to be a hot, but he's not pretending to be the person that he's not pretending to be that girl's boyfriend to sleep with her. This isn't a Revenge of the Nerds where you pretend to be someone else that the person is currently sleeping with to sleep with them. Like, it'd be like a single person seeing this hot guy. And then but if the personality's still the same, he still had to talk, you know, maybe he doesn't go full high. It's a little gray area-ish, but at least it's not this. It's not complete mind control. At least the person still has their faculties. And they can still say no. Like, hot guys still don't sometimes get like turned down. It's not like you walk in, every hot guy is just getting every girl. They still strike out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's still
not great.
That would be.
I don't think it'd be this.
I think that'd still be rape. It's not this. I mean, do you think that it also like clicked in Jonathan's mind that during the Superstar episode he was raping those Swedish twins or whatever?
Maybe he'll bring that up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what he thought that was.
Yeah, because he's like, I got everybody under my mind control. Like, Jonathan is no stranger to this kind of stuff. And now it's finally clicking into his head like, oh, wait a minute, I've already done this.
Well, did Willow rape Tara?
Oh, yeah. I think she probably did.
She mind raped her for sure.
Dude, this show is fucked up.
She mind raped her for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. I don't like this.
This is stuff we brought up, and the show finally just hit the R word on it. So
yeah. I mean, you know how that people like this show because they're like, oh, I don't like to get into the political stuff of this, but when you throw a thing like this into an episode, it's like you gotta fucking talk about this.
With the Jonathan thing, say he made himself have like fancier clothes and then just made himself super rich.
So he does the Aladdin spell.
Yeah.
But Aladdin still looked like Aladdin.
No, he still looks the same, but he's like rich, better clothes. Yeah, he would get girls from that. He would get girls from that.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, there's ways there's ways that they can make themselves more attractive to women without, like, they can just be like, hey, let's get a limo, let's get a thing, let's make this money and then buy out the bar. Let's buy out the bronze.
There we go. He needs to do the Prince Ali, Mighty as He, Ali Ababwa spell. He needs to come into Sunnydale riding an elephant with a fucking parade.
You with your Disney adult reference.
That's the spell that you're describing, basically. That's what he's doing.
I'm describing every Wall Street bro. What are you talking about?
But Wall Street bros aren't doing spells to make that happen. Jonathan would be.
All Warren has to do is sell one robot.
Yeah, Warren be in the background. Oh, Prince Abubu. Yeah, dude. Let's move on. Yeah. So we go to the bronze, and Xania.
You did it. That makes
that's their benefer. Yeah. So Xania are swing dancing. Xander and Anya are swing dancing, and Buffy's like, what the hell is going on here? Why is there swing dancing?
Why is LeBron playing that music?
I don't know. Well, I guess maybe, is this the year 2002? Is this like when swing kind of had like that weird flash in the pan moment where like Lou Bega was big and Brian Setzer and Cherry Poppin' Daddies and all that shit?
Oh,
remember that? Zoot Suit Riot?
Maybe.
Zoot Suit Riot, Jump, Drive, and Wail.
Yeah. I think I blacked out that year.
But yeah, Buffy's sitting there with Willow and she's like making fun of him. Like, oh, this is awkward as fuck. And then Buffy just turns to Willow and she's like, hey, how you doing?
Every time. I was like, can we just have one of these scenes start with Willow asking Buffy how she's doing?
Mm-hmm. And Willow's like, I'm doing okay. Some days are harder. She gives the same speech that she's given to everyone. This is like the fourth time.
Yeah.
Some days are harder than others, but, I'm making it through. And, it sucks. It's easier to have magic, but I'm on a path of not doing magic and I'm sticking to it and I'm happy about that. But everything is harder. And Buffy's like, cool. And then Willow's like, as dorky as they look out there, I think I'm going to go join them.
Well, there's a moment where Buffy apologizes to Willow and she's like, yeah, I'm sorry I haven't been around. And then Willow's like, I know, you've just been like tied up. And then Buffy's like, huh? Tied up? Do you know about the handcuffs?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, come on. Like, Buffy has so many trigger words you have to avoid. It's like, jeez.
Yeah. I mean, some of the things that trigger her, like when Anya's like, you look like you've been pounded. Like, nobody says that shit.
Tied up. You know what? Oh, you mean busy. Oh, okay. Whew, you almost found out about my secret.
And no one is ever like, why'd you react like that?
Like, you have a big reaction to simple conversations.
But yeah, so then Willow is like, you know what, I'm going to go join him. I'm going to go dance. And Buffy's like, I think I'm going to have another fucking beer. I got to get fucked up if I want to start dancing.
But then she does just the weirdest thing.
Yep. She looks sad watching everybody have a good time and dancing. She gets up, she walks to the bar with her empty solo cup, and she just kind of stands there for a little bit, leaves the cup on the bar, walks upstairs and just looks down on everybody having a good time. And she's like, I can't enjoy myself like they're enjoying themselves. Like something's up.
I don't know why I can't enjoy myself at the ground zero of most of our adventures. I fought werewolves. I fought vampires. I fought Darla was shooting at me with double guns in this place.
Fought a troll there.
Yeah, man.
And, I can't really find myself enjoying myself dancing. Let me go literally look down on everybody. And while she's looking down on everybody, Spike shows up and he creeps up behind her and he whispering in his ear, in her ear, and he goes, "Yeah, that's right. They're all having a good time and you're up here with me and you always end up in the dark. We're creatures of the dark. And what if the Scoobs really knew who you were? What if they really knew what you've become?" And then he starts groping her. And Buffy goes, "Don't." And Spike goes, "Stop me."
Which has happened so many times. And
Yeah,
this happens
and
scenes after someone said Reem.
Yep.
And the weird thing is, Buffy wants it to happen. Her stops aren't real stops.
Yeah. So this is like muddling the message.
Yeah, yes. Like, if you're a Jonathan Andrew Warren type guy and you're watching this, you're like, oh yeah, I can just like get in her mind and just use the stop. Doesn't mean stop at all. Buffy allows it.
To quote, I quoted it before, to quote the great AOC, no doesn't mean no. Means find another way.
Just find somebody else to quote, please. I feel like the context is just...
The only reason I know that quote
what comedian
is from memes.
Okay,
yeah, it's from memes.
Yeah.
It's yeah. But he gropes her and she says, "Don't," and he says, "Stop me," and then he starts pulling up her skirt.
I wasn't sure if they were having sex up there or not.
I wrote in my notes, and they just fuck in the bronze.
Yeah.
I think that they are, because she's moaning and Spike is thrusting.
And she's watching her friends while it happens.
Well, she's not watching her friends, and then Spike goes, "Look at your friends."
Like, y'all a bunch of freaks.
Yeah, dude. And he's like, "Look at them. You don't belong with them. You belong in the shadows with me." And this is also... Remember last episode when they were fucking up against the Double Meat Palace face to face? And I was like, the only way that this could happen is if it's doggy style. They took my advice.
Wait, no, you can have sex not doggy style up against the wall.
Yeah, but she would have had to take her pants completely off.
Yeah, you got to do like some leg up stuff. Like, you got to get,
It's
not what it was.
Up.
Like, she was just flat. Yeah, she was just standing. Yeah.
But Spike's like, "Yeah, you belong in the shadows with me. You don't belong with them. Tell me you don't love getting away with this right under their noses." I'm just like, what the fuck is happening, dude?
Like, what am I supposed to be rooting for here? Am I rooting for her to stay with this guy who's like really trying to separate her from her friends? Like, this is classic. I don't know what the term is. It's not like grooming. Groom is not the term for this necessarily. But he's really just like pulling her away and being like, "I am everything to you. You are nothing without me. Your friends mean nothing." And then like make her solely rely on him.
Yeah. It's like forcing what is it?
It's toxic. It's a toxic relationship. That's what it is.
It's toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
But like, it's also such a weird juxtaposition of scenes with Spike, because the last scene we saw Spike, he's like, "Do you even like me? We're having a conversation. Yay! This is becoming something real and a budding relationship." And the next thing he's like, "Fucking stop me from groping you, bitch. Look at your friends while I fuck you." I'm just like, who is this guy?
Yeah, stop using me. Stop coming over here to have sex with me and then just leaving. I'm a person too. You make me feel like a man. And he's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to. I get that this is what he probably is like in a relationship, but I just don't know what the show wants me to think about the relationship.
I found the word. He's like forcing codependency on us.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
He's completely making her codependent on him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because he wasn't forcing it when she came back. When she came back, she opened up to him. He was going to walk away when she revealed that she was pulled from heaven. Like, she opened up to him. And the reason she opened up to him is because he's kind of like this weird outside source.
Yes.
But it wasn't like he was like tricking her into revealing her secrets or whatever.
It's also a thing of, I think that she felt comfortable opening up to him because she doesn't really care about what he thinks.
Yeah.
But she cares about what the Scoobies think, so she has to protect them, and Spike had nothing to do with the spell, but now he's...
fuck does she care what they think?
I wouldn't at this point.
Not immediately. Like, maybe later, but not when I was first ripped from heaven and didn't give a shit. Like, how do you feel nothing, but then also feel shame? I'd be like, I don't want Dawn to find out, but fuck Xander and Anya.
Yeah.
Fuck Willow.
And Tara.
Tara's indifferent.
Really give a shit about... Yeah, I was going to say...
Tara's indifferent.
Out of all of them, maybe Tara would be the one that I'd feel the most guilt telling. Because Tara's just like along for the ride. And
Tara... Well, we'll talk about it when it happens, but Tara also had one of my favorite reactions to finding out that Buffy Bot was sleeping with Spike.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, this scene was mad fucked up, and I don't know what they want me to think. I don't know what.
I don't know what I'm rooting. Like, if you're like, hey, I'm rooting for this relationship, then in the beginning you're like, oh, they're waking up together and they're having a conversation. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right, I kind of like that they're easing into this. And then this scene happens, and you're like, I guess we're playing that like she came back wrong angle, but why is Spike being so manipulative?
Yeah. So the next scene is the next day, and Xander and Willow are walking on Main Street, and Xander's all sore. He's like, oh, I danced a little too hard last night. The jitterbug muscle was, I didn't stretch it properly before. And they're walking to the magic box. And as I saw this, I was like, you're going to take Willow to the magic box?
She was there last episode. And she was there last episode, too.
I know. After she was like forced, got some meth injected into her by Amy the Rat. But
well, she was doing her science experiments there. She called the meeting there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. But like, why would you, like, this would be like taking a alcoholic to a bar.
Yeah.
But
at a certain point, they can get to a point. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it gets explained. But Tara's coming out of the magic box, and Willow is like, Tara, what are you doing here? And Tara's like, I didn't mean to see you here. And Xander's like, this is awkward. I'm going to leave.
My scenes are just dancing this episode, so I'm out. I have very few lines to remember.
Yeah. So Willow and Tara talk, and Willow's talking about like, hey, yeah, I'm doing a lot better than when you last saw me. I haven't done any spells. I haven't done any magic in 32 days. And Tara's like, that's good. I'm really proud of you. And Willow's like, yep. And I can now go to the magic shop. They feel comfortable with me going to the magic box as long as I am with someone. And they're like monitoring me all the time. But it's a step, these are the steps that I have to take. And I'm on the up and up. And Tara's like, that's good. That's good. And she's like holding a book, and Willow's like, oh, you have the Shlingadongadong book. What do you need that book for?
Are you able to just check out the book? Is it a library now? Like, what is Anya in there? Like,
Giles cannot stop his fucking library. But Tara starts to hide the book, and Willow's like, dude, you don't need to hide it from me. Just because I can't do magic doesn't mean that you can't do magic. Like, it's fine. And Tara's like, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking into some stuff. And anyway, I was at the magic box. I was looking for Buffy. And Willow's like, oh, yeah, Buffy? Well, good luck. She's not around much these days, you know, with her job and her slaying.
I'm like, Willow, you were like, it's fine, Buffy, you're not around. Then you were Tara, you're like, yeah, Buffy's never around.
But Tara's like, well, if you do see Buffy, could you tell her that I'm looking for her? I really need to talk to her. And Willow's like, yeah, sure, okay. And Tara's like, all right, later. And then Willow starts to feel really bad. And then Tara walks away a couple steps and turns back around, and she turns to Willow and she's like, and Willow, I want you to know, like, I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy that you're doing better. And Willow's like, yeah, thanks, Tara. Nice little acknowledgement. Do you know what? I'm liking Tara more now that they've broken up.
I think Tara being a confidant with Buffy is going to be useful because I just feel like she hadn't fit in besides being Willow's just like
under her willow tree.
Yeah, just like I'm Willow's girlfriend and that's about it. I kind of used to be a witch. I kind of know a little bit, but I'm basically Willow's girlfriend. You know. Now I feel like she has some agency. She can,
yeah, and she's getting to be more like active and making her own decisions. And it's not just like, I'm following Willow around.
Hey, Willow wants to bring you from the dead. I told her bringing people from the dead is not cool, but Willow.
So we have what is perhaps one of the weirdest scenes just in the middle of an episode.
Yes. I started to write montage, crossed it out, and then wrote needle drop.
I did the exact same thing. I wrote weird emo grunge montage, and then I went, but wait, it's not.
Yeah. Because I was like, all right, where's the third shot of the montage? And it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Buffy patrolling around at the graveyard, and then we have Spike in his tomb and he's drinking, and Buffy's walking and she walks up to a crypt, and it's Spike's crypt, and she like lays her head on it and she puts her hand up against the door, and Spike can sense this, and he goes up to the door and he puts his head on the other side of the door and he puts his hand on the other side. It's like, you know, that scene when in every movie where people go to prison and they put their hand up on the glass.
I can't wait for you to watch Love Actually.
But so they can sense each other, and Buffy's feeling bad about it. And then Spike is like, you know what? Fuck all this sensing each other through the door. I'm going to open it with my shirt all open and my chest all rippling out. So he opens the door and he comes out, and Buffy's gone. And Buffy's walking around and she's in the graveyard, but she just can't stop thinking about Spike. And then she starts monologuing to herself.
Oh my God. When she started monologuing, I was like, oh boy.
And she's like, why do I gotta keep thinking about this guy? He's just a dumb vampire. I don't need him. I need something to distract me. Why isn't there any fucking vampires out here tonight to distract me and kill? And I just need to. And then she hears a woman scream and she's like, thank God.
Why are people just roaming through the graveyards at night?
Yeah. Well. So Buffy hears the scream. She runs to where she thinks she hears it, and there's demons chasing a lady who's in shadows, and Buffy jumps onto one of the demons and then falls through it. And then she sees the lady on the ground crying, and she's like, oh, what's going on? And then she walks over, and then the lady disappears, and then she hears all these whispers going around, and it just keeps saying like, what did you do, Buffy? What did you do? What did you do, Buffy? What have you done? And then Buffy turns around, and now Spike is on the ground, and he's got like a big shiner, and he's like, what the hell did you do that for? And then Buffy turns around again, and the demons that she jumped on show back up, and Buffy and Spike are fighting these demons, turns around, And then it's just her and Spike, and then there's flirting, and then she turns around again and they're back to fighting, turns around and she punches Spike, turns around, the lady's crying on the ground again, turns around, the demons show back up, turns around, they disappear, and Buffy's like, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on, dude?
Yeah, maybe, focus on finding the trio that's been fucking with your life that you just let go.
Yeah, she's got to roam the graveyard feeling all solemn and dark and broody. Yeah. So she turns around one more time and she just decks the lady that she's seen crying, and she punches her, and the lady goes flying and she goes falling down the hill. And Buffy's like, oh shit, I just fucking punched a lady. And then she goes and chasing after her, and Spike, who is fighting the demons, he beats up the demons and then chases after Buffy. And Buffy catches up to the lady who she has now discovered is dead. And she also discovers that it is Katrina?
It is Katrina, but she doesn't know it's Katrina.
Yeah, Buffy doesn't recognize her. Yeah, kind of like us.
So
if you get on our case about not remembering, just remember Buffy didn't even realize it was Katrina.
I mean, we remembered it
I know. But I feel like we had this with Harmony for quite some time.
Harmony. I was surprised in that Harmony episode when it's like, I guess it's the end of season 2 or 3. For me, I didn't think that Harmony and Willow were friends, and they talk on the staircase like they were. And I was just like, wait, what? I was like, who is this person that they're talking to? Because they had never had an exchange like that the whole series.
Yeah.
But
Buffy sees that the lady's dead, and she's like, oh my God, I killed her. I fucking killed her. And then Spike finally catches up to her, and he sees what's happened. He's like, we gotta fucking go. We gotta go, Buffy. And Buffy's like, but what happened? Like, there were demons, and then there was you, and we were flirting, but sometimes we were fighting, and I fucking killed this lady. And Spike's like, we gotta go right now before somebody sees you, because we all know the popular hot spot in Sunnydale is the graveyard after dark.
The scene where that security guy who had his mind sucked by Glory was dead in the woods, and then Riley was there, and then they called in all the Scoobies and then a helicopter. No one crossed that body. But somehow they're worried that people are in alleys and no one shows up. There's a scene later outside of a police station that is insane to me.
Yes.
But
I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but in Once More with Feeling, they do have nighttime funerals going on in Sunnydale. So
I don't know if that was just for the musical or if that was real.
I mean, I feel like it was real because there were people sitting in seats and Spike just beat them up.
Just weird. Yeah, that was
Sunnydale's hottest club is the graveyard. It's got everything. It's got Queller demons. It's got vampires. It's got women you accidentally kill because you're under the spell of 3 regular dudes.
So couldn't he just take her to the hospital and be like, hey, we found her? I know they want to do the moral thing that Buffy realizes she hit her and thinks she killed her. But it seems like there's a way to be I don't know. An injured woman, no one's going to be like, oh yeah, Buffy killed her. Unless they pull up her police record and be like, oh wow, you almost killed Ted, who's gone missing. and you robbed the sporting goods store and then broke out of a cop car. And then broke out of a cop car. You got quite the record, young lady. Tried to burn down your old high school.
Yeah.
And
you had cops previously shooting at you in a high school.
And apparently vampires can feel you. That is why Spike is there. He says
he can sense her.
All right.
Duh. Don't you know I can sense you?
Between this and Angel, we keep getting new powers. This episode of Angel, we get a new power source that vampires can do.
Yeah, so Buffy's like, but I killed that lady. And Spike's like, I'm taking you home. We got to go now. And so he grabs her and he drags her away. And then we go to the van, and it's Warren in the van and with Andrew. And Katrina comes back to the van, but it's not Katrina. It's Jonathan disguised as Katrina. And Warren's like, boom, look at that, fellas. 2 birds, 1 stone. Got rid of the body, and we dealt with the Slayer. And Jonathan and Andrew are looking around like, yeah, but this is fucked up, dude. Like, this is fucked.
Yeah, Jonathan says some line like, oh, the night's so young. Why don't we kill some more women? Like, sarcastically. Yeah. And it looks like he has, like, mascara running on his eyes, like he's been crying.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So then we go to Buffy, and Buffy's trying to sleep. And she can't. She keeps hearing these whispers of, what did you do, Buffy? What did you do? What have you done? And Spike is there, and he's there in her bed. And he's like, I'm going to comfort you. Don't worry about it. And this can be our little secret. And then they just start making out. Buffy thinks she just murdered somebody. And then they're making out.
Well, this is all part of a dream.
Yeah, I know. But so then Buffy's riding Spike, and if Spike is all handcuffed, and she has a weird flashback to killing Katrina, and then Buffy actually wakes up disoriented, and she's confused.
Well, this dream had Spike climbs into bed with her, and then Spike is on the floor of his crypt, handcuffed, and Buffy's riding him. And then it cuts to Katrina being handcuffed, and then Buffy has a stake, and she stakes Spike. And then she stakes Katrina, and then she wakes up. It's weird.
Yeah. It's yeah. But she wakes up, and then she gets dressed, and she goes into Dawn's room, and she sits down on Dawn's bed, and Dawn wakes up, and Buffy's like, hey, Dawn. And Dawn's like, hey, what's up? Everything all right? And Buffy's like, I just want you to know that I love you. And Dawn's like, something's up. Something's up.
Red flags.
What the fuck happened, Buffy? What's going on? And Buffy's like, I'm sorry. I know that I haven't been around a lot, and I know that I haven't been the best sister, and that I can never replace Mom, but I want you to know, like, I love you. You know that, right? And Dawn's like, yeah, but why are you telling me this? What happened? And Buffy's like, there's been an accident. I hurt somebody. And Dawn's like, yeah, but like...
You hurt people every day.
Yeah, I know.
It's your job.
You always hurt people, but like, they're going to be all right? And Buffy's like, nope, they're dead. I made a mistake, and I killed somebody. And Dawn's like, oh, they're there. Just hugs Buffy. And Buffy's like, I got to do the right thing. I got to go tell the police. And Dawn's like, what? No, you fucking don't.
We'll just get Willow to bring her back to life.
Yeah. And then Buffy's like, no, I got to do it. I got to do the right thing. And Dawn's like, and then what? They'll take you away? And Buffy's like, yeah, I guess they will. And Dawn's like, so then what's going to happen to me? And Buffy's like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry, but I got to do the right thing. And Dawn's like, you're not fucking sorry. You're never here. You can't even stand being around me. And I was like, way to make all this about you, dude. There's a dead person.
Well, they don't care about dead people that aren't the Scoobies. They really don't.
That is very true.
They are so flippant when it's like, oh my God, Glory's been like killing people. All right. Like, you gonna do something about it, or let's go to the bronze and dance?
We'll get to that in a couple of days.
Yeah. Do we really need to look into that? But
why is she really killing them? She's kind of just making them crazy, you know?
Oh, no, they made Tara crazy. We got to put a stop to this.
Yeah.
This can't stand.
But yeah, Dawn's like, you're not sorry. You're never here. You don't care. You can't even stand to be around me. And you know what? You don't even want to be here. You never even wanted to be brought back to life. You were in heaven and you're all pissed that you had to come back, that we came back. But you know what? I'm happy that you're back. But I know that you were happier when you were dead and you just want to go away again. And you're not really here anyway. So fucking go. Like, I give a shit. I don't care. Go. Fuck you, Buffy. And I was just like, I want to. Dawn's going to be the next person there was a quote unquote accident about.
She goes and cries into Willow's bed, climbs into Willow's bed. And like, I get what they want to do here, but they never had the conversation with Buffy about her being ripped from heaven.
Mm-hmm. But
then you throw it back in her face like, you never wanted to be here anyway. She's like, yeah, I sung a whole song about it. You guys were all crying and shit. You guys know how I felt.
Remember when you guys felt bad for me?
Yeah. And it's like, I get that Dawn wanted to feel that way, but it seems like this needed to happen sooner. And it seems like a weird time for this explosion to happen after, like, she saved you from Willow, who's magic addicted. And you aren't even mad at Willow for that. Willow broke your arm and made you wait at a magic crack house, you know?
Yeah, the rack den.
The rack den. And now Buffy's doing this. I get, hey, Buffy doesn't want to be here. She's been a little absent. You know, she hasn't been like around. But there's been no acknowledgement of why Buffy is like that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one thing if
Buffy into therapy, please.
It's
somebody get her into therapy.
Get all of them into therapy. I mean, it's just...
Yes.
Oh, no, because then the therapist will end up being a demon and then they'll be sucked into something else. They can't do anything normal.
Yeah, that's true. There's nobody that they can trust except for that one black student guidance counselor who was smoking a cigarette that you thought was up to something, but he was a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he died so fast.
Yeah.
He died so fast.
He got murked so quick. Just don't even, don't put another therapist through this. Like, either they're going to be evil or they're going to be a good person and their life will be ruined.
Yeah.
It's just, I get the sentiment of what Dawn is saying, but because I am still where I am, where they haven't acknowledged the heaven take and Buffy hasn't really like vented to them that, and then they've taken it in and they've come to like a middle ground of, okay. At least with Willow, she's like, okay, I want to live now. But she didn't say that in front of Dawn, so Dawn doesn't know that. She doesn't know she's come to that conclusion. And Buffy's being vague about, I hurt someone, I'm turning myself in. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Buffy?
Well, it's something that Dawn shouldn't hear. We talk about how it's probably shouldn't have seen that, probably shouldn't hear this. I mean, it's also crazy that like when it's crazy that this hasn't happened before. I know that we've talked about this a bunch, like when Faith killed that one guy.
Well, we've had a couple scares. We had the Ted scare. We have the Faith one. The Faith one, it was her reaction. And that's what I think they're contrasting. Faith's reaction to this was to deny it and then to throw Buffy under the bus.
Yes. And like blame Buffy and tell Giles Buffy did it.
Yeah, I was like, that is some evil shit right there.
Yes. But like, it's surprising. I remember when that Faith murder happened, we were all like, I'm surprised this hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still surprised it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
If I'm Buffy, I'm paranoid as fuck. Everybody's a vampire. I'm shoot first, ask questions later.
That's why you gotta have a crucifix or a holy water gun just to like.
That's what I was just about to say. I was about to say I shoot first, and when I say shoot first, it's a holy water squirt gun.
Yeah. If they go, hey, what was that? You're like, oh, you're just a normal person. If they go, you stab.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Dawn's all pissed at Buffy, and Buffy's got to go do the right thing. So she goes, and she's attempting to do the right thing. She walks over to the police department, and Spike.
Why didn't they do the right thing with Manny and say, hey, he's not a disappeared person. He was murdered.
Yeah. Because then they have to blow the lid on it was a demon old lady.
What is she going to say here?
Well, that's what Spike's point.
I was curious. I'm like curious, like what she would actually go on. She was like, "Hey, I was in the woods. I'm a slayer. I was fighting weird time demons. She was there. I backhanded her. She died." They would be like,
Yeah.
"Please, miss." They wouldn't arrest her. They'd be like, "Miss, get out of here."
Well, that's what the thing is like. So let's just get into this scene. Like, so Buffy's trying to go to the police department to confess, and Spike, he knows that she's going to do this, so he's standing there waiting, and he's like, "What do you think you're doing?" And Buffy's like, "I gotta do the right thing, Spike. Girl's dead." And he's like, "You can't do this. You cannot do this." And she's like, "I'm gonna do it." And then he just grabs her and he throws her on the ground in the alleyway right next to a police department.
A police department that is like, we see people coming in and out of it.
Mm-hmm. And he throws her on the ground and he's like, "Can't let you do this." And Spike is like, "I'm telling you, dude, what are you going to do if you go in there and confess? What are you going to tell the cops? They're not going to believe you. That you're going to go in there and you're going to say, I was fighting demons and all this time warp ship was going on and there's vampires. My vampire guy that I've been fucking, it was there with me. What do you think the cops are going to say?" And when he said that, I was like, what is the lie that Buffy was going to come up with to confess this? Like, very much like your point. Yeah. Like, what is she going to say? She has to come up with a lie that's believable that she accidentally killed this person.
Yeah, which is ruined by the thing that happens later. Like, now it looks like... What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Buffy's like, "Well, Spike, they're going to find the body eventually. Like, there's a dead girl's body in the woods." And Spike's like, "Don't worry about that.
Some demon will
took care of it." Well, this is what blows my mind so much. And Spike is like, "Don't worry about it. I took care of it." And Buffy's like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I took care of it. They're never going to find her." And then you hear, "We found the dead girl. She's been in the river."
I love that.
Me too. And then Spike rolls his eyes and goes, "Balls."
Dude, you were in a cemetery. Like, where's the river? Where's the river?
Earlier in the episode, he's like, "I ate somebody." I thought that Spike would have eaten this lady.
He doesn't eat people. They you bite him. Like, he's not a cannibal. They don't eat the full body.
But like, there's things that eat people out there. Like, Spike could have just...
I mean, you literally could have just left her where she was, and they wouldn't have found her for weeks.
Dude, you could have fucking sucked her blood and like called the hospital, and they would have been like, "Oh, it's another one of those fondue accidents that we have so often here. Yep, 2 neck puncture wounds, but we never figure out what the fuck's going on, actually."
I mean, this is nitpicky, but the show really is having a lot of how do we dispose of a body situation, which has never been an issue in Sunnydale.
Yeah, dude. So the cops are all like, the entire police department runs to their cop cars to go get this girl's body that's in the river.
This wouldn't even, they run out as if that they were looking for her. Like, she hasn't even gone missing yet. No one's reported her missing.
Yeah. So they all run out. They all go to they're heading off to the river. And Buffy's like, "Real nice job of taking care of that, Spike, you fucking idiot." And Spike's like, "Yeah, but like, okay, it wasn't your fault, Buffy. And there's no way that the cops can connect it to you. So like, it was an accident."
Yeah, you
Don't
didn't
worry
know her.
about
She's
it.
not your ex-girlfriend.
There's no link.
There's no link.
But he's like, "Don't worry about it. They can't connect it. It was an accident." And Buffy's like, "But I have to do the right thing. I have to go and confess." And Spike's like, "Look, dude, I love you. I love you too much to see you throw your life away, and I cannot let you do this." And then Buffy is like, "Oh yeah, you can't let me do this?" And then she just punches him, and he goes flying across this alley.
Loved it.
And Spike gets up, gets vamp-faced, and then he picks Buffy up and just chucks her across the alley. And he says, "You're not throwing your life away over this." And then they just have a whole fight scene. Need I mention again, this is in an alleyway directly next to the police station. And it's not a small alleyway, too. This is a wide alleyway.
Open towards the street, as most alleys are.
Nobody intervenes. Nobody sees. Nobody hears. This must be in a time warp as well, because this is like a soundproof, vision-proof alleyway.
And Buffy is punching and screaming.
Yes. She mounts on top of him, and she's just beating the fuck out of him. Just screaming like he's no good.
Well, I have the quotes if you want it.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
She's like, she's beating the shit out of him. And she says, "You don't have a soul. You're dead inside. I could never be your girl." Because he calls her his girl. And she, another trigger. Like everything triggers her. Call her an animal. Call her an animal. She's pissed. Call her a girl. She's pissed.
There's no good, and he doesn't have a soul, so he can't feel anything real. And she could never be his girl.
She's crying.
And she beats the vampire face off of Spike.
Yeah,
like legit. And as he's getting hammered by Buffy's fucking, she's just ground and pounding this guy. His head's bouncing off the concrete into her fist. Like, it's brutal, dude.
It's so toxic. What are we doing?
And then after she beats him into kind of submission, she gets up and she's like, "I'm going to go and confess." And she stands up, and Spike just turns around all slow because he's got the fuck beat out of him. And he's like, "You always hurt the ones you love, pet."
I hated this. I hated it so much. It's such weird messaging. Like, it's a clever, like, the line has some truth to it, because it's easier to hurt people that love you because they trust you. So if you do something wrong, it hurts more. But this is not the context of that. This is like, "Oh, you beat the shit out of me because you love me." And it's like, not, I know it's not what they're going for. But like we said with the girl that wants you to rip her clothes off because she saw it in some rom-com, and it was like, "Oh, this looks cool." And then in reality, not so cool. You know?
Reality, that's $40 down the drain is a nice shirt.
My mom gave me this shirt.
I just bought this.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So it's just this line.
Yeah. So Buffy goes into the police station, and she walks up to the cop, and she's like, "Hey, I need to talk to somebody." And the cop's like, "Wait just a minute, dollface. The phones are ringing off the hook."
Like, wait, isn't the phone ringing off the hook every night in Sunnydale? Like, what?
Yeah. He's answering every phone. "Hello? Yeah, please hold. Hello? Hold on, please a second, please. Hold on, I got to get..."
Yeah, no one calls 911. They call the front desk of the police station.
So he picks up one phone call, and Buffy overhears this conversation. And the cop is like, "Okay, so we have an ID on the girl that was found in the river, huh?"
Is the river like 2 feet away from the cop station? How long was this fight? They managed to get there and ID this girl?
Yep. And the ID, it's Katrina Stilbers or whatever her last name is. Mm-hmm. And Buffy's like, "Wait a minute. Katrina," flashback to that scene of Warren and Katrina and Buffy being in the doorway. And Buffy's like, "Wait a fucking minute here. Warren's girlfriend was named Katrina. Son of a bitch. This is the trio. This is Warren." And then she just leaves the cop station.
This is so forced, too, as a reveal. Because she saw the person, right? She saw her face, didn't recognize the face of the person she saw. The face that she's been dreaming of. She doesn't recognize her by her face. But then she hears her being called Katrina, and that triggers her to have a memory where she's with Warren, and he calls her Trina, not Katrina. In the flashback, he says, "Trina, quiet." Not Katrina.
Trina, shut up.
Trina, shut up. Yeah, sorry. It's Warren. Trina, shut up.
Yeah.
Right? So she hears the name Katrina, and it makes her flashback to someone calling someone by a shortened version of that name.
Well, Vance, let me explain this all away here.
Okay.
Because if you recall, in the flashback, Katrina's hair is up.
Mm-hmm.
And when Buffy kills her, quote unquote kills her, her hair is down.
Mm-hmm.
Honest mistake. You could not recognize somebody with their hair up versus their hair down at all.
It's fine. Like, I don't know why you're defending that. Like, it was like half a second.
No, I was just joking. I'm
not worried about it.
Her hair was up. It's impossible to see someone's facial features.
Well, you bring up a good point of I don't know how Buffy I don't understand how Buffy remembered this from this name. This person that she interacted with for like half a second.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, wait, Trina? Oh, Warren's girlfriend. Like, what?
Yeah.
If she would have said Katrina, at least the names are the same.
Warren should have just made a sex bot Katrina. That's basically what he wants.
Right?
Did he forget how to make sex bots?
No, he mentioned it because he tried to make it to that bank robbing demon.
Yeah. Like, this all could have been done so much easier if he just made a sex bot of Katrina. We gotta get
Warren off the street, though.
Yeah.
It's crazy that Katrina's dead. Because I thought she died the first time she was. She's been cheating death. It's like a Final Destination scenario. Because that bot choked her out.
Yeah. So Buffy goes to the magic box. And, of course, we're opened to a research book with a perfect illustration of the demons that Buffy saw. And Anya's like, oh, yeah, those demons? Yeah, they cause temporal disturbances and it cause vivid hallucinations. So if those are what you saw, then yeah, it makes sense why there was an accident and you think that you killed this girl, but you're actually seeing things. Mm-hmm. And Buffy's like, and more so, I don't even think that I actually killed this girl. I'm pretty sure that Warren killed her before, and this is some kind of trick. And then Dawn and...
Oh, yeah.
So Dawn's sitting on the stairwell, and after Buffy's like, so I didn't kill the girl, Warren killed her, so Warren's at fault for this, so I gotta go find Warren. And Dawn's sitting on the stairwell, and she's got her arms crossed, and she goes, so does this mean that you're not going away? And Buffy gets up, and she walks over to Dawn, and she goes, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And then Dawn stands up and runs off like a pissy little bitch. And I was like, what do you want? What do you want?
No sympathy for Buffy thinking that she killed someone because she was tricked by the trio. No sympathy for a poor woman who was murdered.
I mean, and no joy. Like, the last scene we saw Dawn, she's like, who cares? You just don't even want to be around. You're just going to go away. Whatever. What about me? Buffy's like, okay, you know what? I'm not going away. And Dawn's like, oh, so you're not going away? Fuck it. Yeah.
It's like, you just got the full layout of what I've been through. I was in a temporal time shift fighting demons. And then I accidentally killed a woman that might have been dead already because they're trying to frame me for murder. But I'm sorry. Sorry, Dawn. Willow, can I apologize to you for something too? Just while we're here. Anybody else who feels wronged by me coming back from heaven?
Something that I didn't ask for, didn't want, that you forced upon me.
Yeah. Were you guys dealing with all of this when I wasn't here? How are you guys still alive?
Dawn so far in this season is worse than she was in last season.
They don't have anything for her to do but just like complain, like give her something.
It's just conflicting too. Like I thought, and in my season 6 predictions when we did the recap, I was like, we're going to learn more about Dawn. We're going to see Dawn's friends. We're going to see like her life. And we see it for one episode and then they just turn her into like a conflicting, doesn't know what she wants. Like, I don't know where she stands on anything.
They didn't do anything from her killing a boy. The first boy she made out with was a vampire and killing him.
Yeah.
They did nothing with that. That would change you fundamentally.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you've been like almost sacrificed and opened a portal and stuff, so your life's already been a mess. But then you're like, oh, my life's getting a little normal. I'm going out. I'm hanging out with a boy. were stealing shit and like doing random mischief. And then I have to kill him because he's a vampire and he tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Nothing from that.
You'd think that would also give a little context and sympathy for like the entirety of Buffy's life as the Slayer. Like you think that it's like, oh, I get it. Yeah. This is tough. But I don't get it.
I know they want her to be like upset that Buffy's not present, but it's not set up in a way where I can side with Dawn. Like I could side with Dawn in the Invisible episode where Buffy just joking around and being like, God, take something seriously. Now Buffy's taking something super seriously, and it's like, ugh. Yeah. Like now, it's like, what are we doing? And then we get the line quoted again, and it's just, yeah.
Buffy's. You always hurt the one you love. Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah, because she talks about Warren. And they're like, I think Warren killed Katrina. And then they're like, wow, I can't believe they did that. And then Buffy's like, you always hurt the one you love. And I'm like, are we giving Warren? Are you comparing yourself to Warren now?
Well, wasn't it like somebody's like, how could Warren do that? Or what makes you think it was Warren? And Buffy goes, well, you always hurt the ones you love. Wink, wink. Nice little callback for the audience, but everyone else is looking at Buffy like, what?
Yeah, and it's like, so Warren truly loved her, and that's why he hit her over the head with a bottle and tried to turn her into a sex slave? Like, what are we saying about love in this world?
You know what they say, if you love something,
set it free.
Mind control it and turn it into a sex slave.
We just see like Spike going up to Warren like, hey, Warren, can I mind if I borrow that cerebral dampener? Oh, you're in love, I see, huh?
Another man in love, of course.
Willow did the same thing. You know what? Willow did the same thing to Tara.
That is true.
God.
I'm going to brand this cerebral dampener to the love enhancer.
Yeah. It's just like,
dear God,
when you have Spike say that line and you want it to have resonance, it's like interesting and it's like, fine, I get what you're trying to do here because Buffy's been conflicted with Spike loving her. He keeps saying he loves her, blah, blah, blah. But then when you tie this line to Warren, who murdered his girlfriend, now I'm like, am I supposed to be rooting for Buffy and Spike or not?
Yeah. But after Buffy deduces that it's Warren, she says, they aren't going to get away with it. Cut to Warren and the trio, and he goes, dude, we're totally going to get away with this.
They did a lot of matching cuts in this episode.
Yeah. And the reason why they're like, we're totally getting away with this. They're reading police reports about how like the wounds on Katrina are consistent with suicide. And I was like, how?
Is that what they said?
Yeah. The police reports were like, yeah, the wounds that are on Katrina's body are consistent with suicide. And I was like, she got bashed in the head.
Okay. Oh, they must have the worst. They don't even care. They find a body and they just don't care because she got bashed. No one kills themselves by hitting themselves in the back of the head and then having their neck break post-mortem.
I mean, maybe they thought that it was like, so they found her in the river. Maybe they thought that she jumped in the river and like slammed her head on a rock or something.
Dude, where's this river?
Right? I've never once seen a river in Sunnydale.
Yeah.
Not that I can recall anyway.
I mean, we have that river in LA and it's like...
it's a
like
man-made river.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah. But this was 2002, so like the river was flowing. It was like the Grand Rapids. Yeah.
But
okay, maybe the hit on the back of the head. But they would have, you know what would have been the thing? There would have been no water in her lungs because she wasn't been breathing. I don't know. I've watched enough like criminal stuff. I don't watch a lot of true crime stuff, but
we gotta have Riley show up in Riley CSI Sunnydale.
Yeah, initiative's back.
You know what they say when you're in love, it takes your breath away. Yeah! Bum, bum.
We're going to make this mission our bitch, Graham.
Yeah!
If they make that, I'd watch that. That'll be the next series we do.
Yeah. I don't think it's suicide because she wasn't drowning in sorrows. Yeah!
Oh, man. Just the opening credits of that show would be amazing.
Yeah, dude. But Warren's like, we got away with it, dude. The cops think it's suicide. And Jonathan's like, yeah, but what about Buffy? What about the Slayer? Like
the Slayer was after you guys even before this. So
yeah. And Warren's like, if the Slayer figures it out, we'll take care of her. We've got a bunch of power. Like, we fucked with her for like a whole day and like had her all confused.
And
it's just like a fun time competition between the three of us.
And we could just like leave Sunnydale?
Yes.
Like if we literally go one town over, she's not going to do anything.
Yeah, she does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Just don't go to LA though.
Don't go to LA.
Don't go to LA.
Go to San Francisco. Go to where else?
Go to New York.
Go to New York. Just go to a random place. Go to Chicago.
Go to Denver. Yeah.
Go to Denver.
Fucking do anything. Yeah. Not this.
Yeah. Just get out of this one little spot in the world that has one Slayer.
Yeah. But after that, he's like, don't worry. If Buffy finds out, we'll take care of her. And then Andrew is like, guys, we got away with murder. That's actually pretty fucking cool. And then I was like, oh no. And then Jonathan's like, yeah, you know what? That is pretty cool. And I was like, oh no.
Well, I think when Jonathan says it, he's just saying it, but I don't think he believes it. I didn't get Jonathan. I thought Jonathan was like, okay, I'm outnumbered 2-1. I better just join in. But it looks like Jonathan is still, hey, I'm just a light rapist. I'm not a murderer.
I didn't even get the chance to rape your ex-girlfriend, Warren. Come on now.
Warren, it's weird because she's your ex-girlfriend, not because she's a person.
Yeah.
It does make it worse, though.
Yes.
God, he was just... I thought he was just going to be like, no, she's mine. You got to get your own.
That's what I thought.
Well, when he was like, you guys going to have when I'm done with her, I was like, you don't know what love is, do you? Like, it's definitely not that.
Just stick with the sex robots.
When I saw I saw Warren, like when he said, get on your knees, I was like, man, every guy in Sunnydale is a problem. Buffy, you're better off with just vampires. At least you know they're supposed to be bad. At least vampires you know are evil. Like,
yeah. Get back with Scott Hope, please.
Dude, honestly, Riley,
bro.
I mean,
right?
Riley's looking great not as a character in the show, but as just like, hey, he can just stay home. He can fight vampires, so you don't have to really worry about him. Like, he can handle himself on the streets.
Riley's biggest problem was that he felt inadequate and felt that he couldn't help Buffy enough.
Yeah. Fine. He's got his whole life to get over that.
That's fine. That's okay. Just, comfort him every once in a while. Tell him he's integral, just like you do to the other Scoobs, like you do to Willow, and it'll be fine.
Wait, but now I'm confused because she didn't love him, but she managed to hurt him. So how does that track?
Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God. So you hurt the ones you love and the ones you don't love.
Or
you hurt the ones you love and the ones you kind of like. What do you mean? I gave you my soul. I gave you my body.
The show is wild, dude. The show is wild.
Yeah. We like the show.
We like the show. It's just wild.
Like I said, this episode finally was answering some shit.
It answered
Especially
some shit and then brought
scene.
up some. It answered some shit and then just brought up some more shit. So
yeah,
it's dark. This is a dark show.
Well, the next scene is absolutely one of the darkest things the show has ever presented us with.
Yeah, I would say a lady in a French maid outfit telling 3 dudes that they were about to rape her. It's pretty high up
that's
there.
Dark.
Yeah.
That's dark. The body, super dark.
That's dark, but like
realistic.
not maliciously. Like there's no bad guy in that.
This scene, though. So Tara comes to the Summers home, and Buffy sits down with her, and Buffy's like, so you did some research about the spell that brought me back. What did you find? And Tara's like, I'll be real with you, dude. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. I've got some good news. Nothing's wrong with her. And Buffy's like, so then why can Spike hurt me? Like, why is his chip, why isn't it working when he punches me? And Tara's like, well, there's nothing wrong with you, like soul-wise, but the way that you came back, the spell may have like altered you molecularly, and it might just be like confusing Spike's sensor. I don't know. Like, but there's nothing wrong with you. Like,
I'm not Warren. I can't tell you how this thing works. Can't tell you how that chip works.
Look, my major is women's studies. It's not science.
But I do have a minor in soul.
It's a lot of jazz classes in that.
Yeah. But we get deep down inside, so I can tell the essence of a person.
But, dude, when she's like, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with you. You just have been altered on a molecular level.
Yeah, it's just like you have a tan on your insides and your cellular. Like, what?
Yeah. And Buffy's like, I do not believe what you're telling me. I cannot believe this.
Buffy should be like, can I still have kids? Like, what the fuck is going on? What do you mean? Molecular level? That seems like I'm mutated.
It would have been hilarious if Tara was like, well, nothing happened with the spell, but when you grabbed a uranium heart out of Adam's chest, the radiation poisoning turned you basically into like a Ninja Turtle.
You dying when you died probably saved your life. 'Cause...
But here's what doesn't make sense about this. Even if Buffy's thing was that she's been changed on a molecular level, right? Molecularly, she's still a human. And Spike's chip is that he can't hurt a living thing.
The chip doesn't make any sense, dude.
It makes no fucking sense.
What is it doing? Is it putting a ray around him? I don't understand how this chip works, and they don't either.
And dude, I believe the way that they framed it when they introduced the chip with Spike is that he cannot hurt a living being, and I feel like that covers animals too.
Yeah, because I guess demons are not living beings, right?
Yeah, no, they're dead.
Okay. Yeah.
So that means that Buffy is no longer a living being. Like, I don't care what they say. Like,
that makes sense. Yeah, like she's a zombie, basically.
But like, you know how they say, the way that Tara's explaining it is like, you know how they say that like your cells every 7 years, like your cells, like you're a completely new person or whatever. Mm-hmm. It seems like that's kind of what Tara's giving as an explanation. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
She's still a living being.
I do like that there's nothing. Yeah, they're explaining away. They want it to be like nothing's wrong with her. It's all the codependency ploy.
Yeah.
And there's also like technically he could hit you, so something like. But she keeps quoting the wrong thing. But Spike is the one who said you came back wrong. He didn't say you came back different. He didn't say you've changed. He's like, you're wrong. So he goes straight negative with it, and then she takes that to heart.
Yeah, and Buffy's telling this to Tara. She's like, I can't believe it. I know something's definitely wrong. And Tara's like, I promise you, there's nothing wrong with you.
I read 2 pages of this book.
There was an illustration of how it worked in perfect detail.
Yeah, we didn't read about the demon coming back later because, like, of course, but sure.
Yeah. But Buffy's in denial. She's like, no, it can't be. if this is true, like, why do I feel the way I do? And why do I let Spike do the things that he does to me? And Tara's like, what do you mean? Like, punch you?
Which, yeah, that's still something.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, yeah, why do you do that? And Buffy just kind of is like in tears. And she just looks up at Tara. And she's like, no, he does other things to me. And Tara's like, oh. And then Buffy's like, oh, no, go for it.
And this is when I was thinking Tara was the one who, when she was like, hey, when my mom died, I did some crazy things too. And he was like, oh, I saw her fucking Spike. She's like, oh no, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So now she's hearing that this is actually happening.
Mm-hmm. And Buffy's like, Spike is everything I hate. He is everything I'm supposed to stand against. But every time I'm around him, he's the only one that I can have feelings. Like, I only feel stuff when I'm around him. Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? There's something's wrong. And then she just looks up at Tara and she's like, do not fucking tell anybody about this. And Tara's like, I won't. Don't worry about it. I promise I'm not going to tell anyone. And Buffy's like, I can't stop. And then Tara goes, well, I mean, do you love Spike? And Buffy's like, oh, no, it's wrong. Something's wrong, please. Tara, tell me that something's wrong with me. Please stop being so understanding. Please don't forgive me. Please. And then she just starts sobbing in Tara's lap. And Tara's like, oh boy, I thought I came here with good news. I thought you were going to be happy to find out that there's nothing wrong with you. And I got a lady crying in my lap. Oh, Jesus.
Willow walks in and she's like, what are you two doing together? No, Willow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Willow.
Forget Willow.
Willow, it's not what it looks like. I knew it was something going on between you two because this is about me now.
And Buffy goes up to Willow. Willow, I'm sorry that you saw me. I shouldn't have talked to Tara. I should.
Actors. She just starts shooting laser beams at him.
Just all those levitating knives that she used to shoot at Glory.
Yeah.
Why are you in my girlfriend's lap?
Oh, now you're staying, Buffy?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, because Tara's just like, oh, well, you know Spike loves you and he's done a lot of good things recently. Like, she goes straight into, like, supportive girlfriend mode. Like, oh, no, like, it's fine, you know, he's not all bad.
Yeah. Like, after you died, he did protect Dawn. And, like,
he protected Dawn, and I mean, he's still a vampire, but so, I don't know, I'm a vampire hunter. And...
Yeah.
And Buffy crying and being like, please don't forgive me. I was like, do you like, I feel like this would work so much better with like Giles or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a scene that normally she would talk to Willow about, but Willow's like out of it. It's an interesting. Yeah, I've always had a thing where I'm wondering if Buffy feels bad that she's hooking up with Spike, or does she feel bad that the Scoobies might find out? Because she's like, please don't tell anyone, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not all about you not wanting them to know. You also feel bad on your own that you're doing it. But then when you're with them, you're just like joking around. You're like, I'm invisible, getting banged in front of Xander. I don't care. So it's like...
Well, here's the thing, too, is like she says he's the only person I feel anything when I'm around him. It's like, have you tried? Have you talked to anyone else aside from the Scoobies?
She doesn't have anyone else.
You can go out on and meet people.
Why? Because then it's just going to turn into like a demon or a vampire.
Oh, yeah, you know, that is true. That is the one true. That is the one true thing about Sunnydale.
Maybe she should go to the college and talk to that poetry professor that she seemed to like at one point.
Bro.
What was that scene? What was
that scene was so weird. And I know at the time we predicted that's how Spike was going to be in with her because he's going to write poems. And it's like, oh, yeah, Buffy likes poetry.
It's low-hanging fruit. It's there.
Yet to come to fruition.
If it comes true now, it'd be like, oh, well, I forgot that she liked poetry because that scene was so random.
Yeah, and so long ago.
Yeah.
But
but they'll flash back. They'll flash back to it when we do the recap. It'll be a random scene where she's like, "Sir, I'm quitting poetry class." And you're like, "Why is that there?" Oh,
yeah. All I'm saying, look through your things, dig up Scott Hope's phone number. I mean, that guy seemed like the most normal guy. He wasn't part of it.
Scott Hope left her. He dumped her.
Beg for him back. Beg for him back. Do something, dude. Like,
God, Xander's looking like a catch right now, too.
I know, dude.
Man.
When Xander, all he's doing is dancing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there are way, way, way worse things going on. Yeah. When people are like, oh, I could never, if you even suggest that Buffy should get with Xander, like, you're a piece of shit, is like, look at what's happening to Buffy right now. You telling me that it wouldn't have been better?
Do we not want Buffy to be happy in these seasons?
People are team Spike. They're like, I'm team Spuffy. Like, this girl is sobbing into Tara's lap. Being like, something's wrong with me. I fucking feel disgusting. I can't feel anything except for when I'm around this vampire who talks about eating people right after we fuck.
Now, I've never been in one of these toxic relationships like this.
Mm-hmm.
Where I just don't know if at the end of this episode, if we're like, it went from, okay, she should be with him. Okay, she can't be with him. To then like, you should really, he loves you. Like Tara's like, he does love you. I'm like, yeah, we know he loves her, but his love is not good. And we saw what love did to, quote unquote, love did to Katrina.
Well, we also have established like, oh, if you don't have a soul, you can't love. Like that's been said in Buffy and in Angel.
Yeah.
So like,
but a chip is half a soul.
According to Spike.
according to the magic of the show.
I'm with you, man. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I know that it's supposed to be like a conflicting feeling thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, love is complicated and all that jazz. But
I feel like Buffy would end up like Katrina. Like,
yeah.
You don't think Spike, if you really said, hey, Spike, I'm not going to be with you, it's finally over, which then he also wouldn't believe because she said it a million times.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't then try to take out his vengeance on you like he's done every single... He came to your door with a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only reason he didn't shoot you is because you were crying about your mom. He was going to shoot you with the shotgun, which is a Slayer kryptonite.
I mean, he had her hung up in his cave and he was going to let Drusilla... Who knows if he was actually going to let her, but like...
It's enough that he had her tied up.
Yeah.
It's enough.
I mean... Anyway, that's the episode. It just ends with Buffy sobbing in Tara's lap and Tara trying to be understanding.
When it ended, I was like, oh shit, that's the end?
Yeah, me too. I was like, that's it?
Oh, I was like, oh, she's going to go after Warren or something. I was like, oh, what? That was, yeah.
Yep. Got anything else to say about Dead Things?
No, I mean, it's a hell of an episode, man. I mean, yeah.
I'm happy that they're answering the questions.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the end.
I just know next episode's going to be some wacky, goofy shit, probably.
No, they got to pick up right from this. They're going to pick up.
You think?
They have to. They have
Next episode is titled Older and Far Away.
Ooh, Giles?
Her dad? Giles and her dad? Because they both are older and both far away?
You know what I want this to be? It's not going to be this. I want to see an Ethan Rain escapes from Initiative jail.
I miss that guy, dude. I miss that guy so much.
But it's like, it's not worth having him if Giles isn't there.
Yeah, it's not worth having him too because the trio is serving the exact same purpose that he serves.
Yeah,
like he's just like a mischief. Yeah. And the trio is now, but the trio's now like...
Well, the trio now has crossed the line where it's not even funny games. Like, I can't listen to them banter about, like, what Bond is the best anymore. They've gone past that.
Yeah, they killed somebody and
Yeah.
What if it's the trio doing a spell on Buffy to make her age fast?
Yeah, they could do anything they want to get rid of Buffy. Like...
They're so OP.
Yeah.
If they just work together, they could end it. Mm-hmm. Don't give up on the invisibility ray. Just shoot it at Buffy again and wait.
Wasn't the plan to kill Buffy? I guess
it was Warren's plan.
Yeah. I thought they would be mad at Warren when they found out. There was no blowback from Warren trying to kill Buffy when they said not to do it.
Yeah.
There was no like inner fight like, hey, what are you doing? We told you not to do this. We can't really trust you anymore. They were like, no, let's make the cerebral dampener so we can rape women. They did not even worry about what he just double-crossed and lied to them.
I mean, and he's done it,
Multiple
think, like
times.
a couple times.
Yeah, like he gave the address to the sea monster, bank robber monster thing, demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Older and far away. I'm going to guess it's the dad. The dad is somehow in this episode. I know that that's a real dumb prediction based on everything that we've ever seen.
I'm just gonna go Giles, and that's something Giles related. It's about time for if he's still a part of the show to throw him in for an episode.
All right, everybody. That is a wrap for Dead Things. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking out. It's another long one, but had a lot to talk about.
We're getting to that part of the season real early. I don't like it.
I know. But thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. If you want to get a shout out, we'd really appreciate it. We love doing the shout outs and we love getting those 5-star rating and reviews. Apple Podcast rating and review, 5 stars on Spotify rating. Send us an email at boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at boyswatchingbuffy. Join our Discord. We have a lot of lively, fun conversations going on there. Our Patreon is patreon.com/boyswatchingbuffy, where we do Boys Watching Angel, Boys Watching Movies. We'll be doing Love Actually this month, and Joe's Fashion Report /Corner, where I break down all the fashion of the episodes. Amazon wish lists. We got merch. If you want to get some merch, I think that's about everything. That is a wrap. Thanks again, everybody, and stay tuned next time for when we talk about Older and Far Away.
You try to be with him, but you always end up in the dark. With me.
Seltzer Kings
Podcasts.